Greetings, YouTube, and welcome to a video that I've really wanted to make for months now. And I have this list, right, this to-do list of videos that I really want to make that I just need to sit down and make. And I have several videos that I just haven't had the chance or taken the time to make, and they're on my list, and the list keeps growing. But I want you to know that when you ask for a video and it doesn't come out for a while, it's not that I've forgotten about it. It's just that there's a limited amount of time that I have per day to make videos and to kind of set aside my teaching responsibilities. And I just, sometimes I prioritize different videos. Sometimes breaking news happens and suddenly I have to push everything aside. But today, finally, I'm going to talk about a question that I get sometimes daily, but certainly weekly. And that's, Prof, I am stuck. I've got a bunch of tier 2 alphas. Maybe they're expiring. We have some people who have that insane problem, which really sucks, to be honest, where you either have to rank up a champion that you really don't want to rank up to at least rank 4, or you just say goodbye to those tier 2 alphas altogether. So obviously it's better to rank up a bad champion than to not rank up anyone. But yeah, I feel you if that's your problem. But basically, this is the question. I'm sure if you clicked on this video, you saw the title, you know what this is all about. It's, should I rank 4 2 5-star champions or rank 5 1 5-star champion? Now, it's not completely perfect math. Let's remind ourselves of the difference in materials between one or the other. Really, it has to do with tier 2 alphas because you don't need anything else besides the tier 2 alpha in the difference between rank 4 and rank 3, at least for a 5-star. So if we were to upgrade, say, Iceman, you would need 6 tier 2 alphas. I was going to say 6 tier 1 alphas, but you need both, right? You need 6 tier 4 mutant catalyst, 6 tier 1 alphas, 6 tier 2 alphas, and then, of course, 2 tier 5 basics. But for the sake of argument, we're going to take the tier 5 basic out of this video because you don't need tier 5 basic for rank 4. So we're just going to assume that you have 2 tier 5 basic for the premise of this video, for the premise of this question. Now, obviously, your roster, I'm going to say this from the top, your roster differs. Everybody who watches this, your roster needs are different. So it's sometimes tough to generalize need because the number one thing that I always point out in these kind of videos is screw what I think. Screw what anyone else thinks. If there's a champion that you love to play, we had somebody that 565'd Kamala Khan and put out videos just destroying people, especially in Realm of Legends and even some Labyrinth of Legends videos with 565 Kamala Khan. Did they get pushback? Of course. But at the same time, if that's their favorite champion, great. We've seen rank 565 Spidey Gwyn's. So I'm just saying this is generally my advice to you, but if there's a champion that you love that no one else loves, Head Shadow, a great guy, a great summoner, 565 Loki, and destroys people with his Loki like I haven't seen people use Blade in some cases. So it just depends on your preference. But in general, this is what's worked for me, and this is why I'm making this video. I believe there are very few champions at this point in the game, especially with 6 stars, so rare, and tier 5 basics so incredibly rare. And that includes if you're like me and you're in a Gold 1 alliance and you're not in a Master or Platinum alliance getting those extra Alliance War Seasons rewards with more Alliance War Seasons crystals than to, of course, get more tier 5 basic fragments. But I have, as you can see, I've 565'd 4 champions in my gaming career. Blade, Void, Stark Spidey, and Hyperion. Now, 3 out of 4 of these, I would tell anyone they are worth rank 5ing because the damage that I saw in increase was insane, and I am so glad that I did it. And that would be Blade, Stark Spidey, and Hyperion. I was really hoping and praying, even though we now know we didn't get them, to have at least one 5-star rank down ticket because as much as I love my Void, basically the biggest difference between Void rank 5 and Void rank 4 is health. You get to last longer in a fight, which is relevant, but the degen damage, especially with the Fear of the Void, is not substantially different between rank 4 and rank 5. And my Void now is all the way up to Sig 176. So I should know something about the difference between, say, a Sig 20 5-star Void and a 565 SIG 176. So don't get me wrong, I still bring in Void a ton. I haven't completed Variant yet. In fact, I haven't even attempted Variant with my schedule. So I'm sure, from what I've been told, Void is an MVP in Variant, and I'll be very thankful, as I probably will be in Act 6, that my 5-star Void is 565. But I'm just saying, from my perspective, if I had the ability, I would still rank Void down to rank 4 and take up, of course, my 6-star Domino, who would be my Labyrinth of Legends MVP, to rank 2, because I have everything I need except for Tier 5 Basics, which I'm only 1/3 there at the time of recording this video. So my number one message to you is that there are very few champions that have a significant difference between rank 5 and rank 4 to the point that you should justify the rank up. There are several champions that are incredible at rank 4, and that will still do you a tremendous amount of justice. The biggest champion that I've seen at rank 4 that I'm probably never going to do to rank 5, but I'm so thankful, is Star-Lord. Star-Lord is still one of my favorite champions in the game, and at SIG 200, you literally can't do better than that, unless I guess you rank 5 him. But yeah, I bring in Star-Lord. He's my Alliance Quest Map 5 MVP every day, and we do Map 5 days a week in my Alliance. OG Vision, Quake, 2 champions I love at rank 4, and then Magic, Corvus Glaive. Now, Corvus, of course, is a champion that is worth taking to rank 5. I don't think at this point I would rank 5 my Corvus over rank 2ing my 6-star Domino. Ghost Rider at rank 4, the attack is fine, and most importantly, the regen is great. And of course, you don't need to be awakened to have that regen, even though, man, I have been waiting so long to awaken my Ghost Rider, and I fought off the temptation to use a generic awakening gem at that. And so Ultron is such a small prestige champion. I can't believe, even with my mastery setup like it is, that Ultron is only at 7,500. I mean, that is so sad. So sad. But who knows? Maybe I'll be thankful I have my Ultron at rank 4 at some point. So my message to you, I know this is kind of wordy, is unless you're going to take up a high damage champion or someone like a Magic who has insane utility in a certain area, like power control, and is good on both offense and defense, that can be kind of the stickler. I've seen people throw rank 5 at their Korg, and I totally get that for defense, but Korg, at least to me, is so frustrating to play on offense that I would never take him in to a quest. I would put him on defense forever, and I'm sure people would hate to fight him, but those tier 5 basics are so rare that I don't think it's worth rank 5ing any champion just for defense. Now, there are several champions that you get incredible utility both offensively and defensively that are worth it for defense. Medusa, Hyperion, Iceman, Void can even be a solid defender, though not as good as those in my book. Domino is a prime example, and one of the ones that I don't think I would put even in my top 15, but I've seen people make the argument, is Iron Man Infinity War, because he is pretty darn underrated on offense and yet still mainly used as a defender. But you've got to ask yourself, who are the champions that I want to take into questing, that I'm going to make that starting 5? For me, the 5 has been very clear. Blade, Stark, Spidey, and Ghost Rider, the Holy Trinity. And then to round out 5 different classes with synergy bonuses, Hyperion and Iceman. And Dorky Diggity Dave, I really appreciate his Iceman gameplay and his feedback, because when I asked him, how do you like your 565 Iceman, he loves him. I mean, he has sworn that he's a great champion, and as you can tell when I hit info, my Iceman's now at SIG 200 as well. There are very few 5 stars that I have maxed out, and Iceman is one of them. So the bottom line is, unless you have that champion that you are going to just change the game with the damage output, I would do 2 rank 4s over a rank 5. I would absolutely rank 4 like a Domino and a Corvus over rank 5ing a Ghost Rider. I would absolutely rank 4 a Blade and a Void over rank 5ing a Iron Man Infinity War, right? And so that might sound obvious to some people, but I get this question definitely weekly, but like I said, sometimes daily. And so it's worth a video to really discuss the difference. Rank 4 is a threshold that you can bring into Act 5, that you can bring into, well, if in Star-Lord's case, I think a rank 4 is still really good for Labyrinth of Legends, for Variant, certainly BS content that pops up every once in a while, like, this month's daily quest at times, and certainly things like the maze if you want to jump on, and good luck with that. But Act 6 is going to be upon you. And part of why, even though I'm so thankful I have Ghost, why I'm just not sold on telling people to automatically rank 5 Ghost is that you have to bring in Wasp and Ant-Man. And I just can't swear by those champions. They're way better with their synergy. But if you're telling me a rank 5 Ghost along with Wasp and Ant-Man, or you've got the option to bring in 3 rank 4s and say it's a Blade, Stark, Spidey, and a Hyperion, I take the Blade, Stark, Spidey, and Hyperion every time, especially for the utility. Obviously, if you are someone like Panda Man Pete, who is the god of Ghost gameplay, you're going to justify bringing in a Ghost. But for the average player that maybe hasn't perfected a really complicated champion like Ghost, it just doesn't make any sense with such limited resources to take that champion up to rank 5 when you can use your tier 2 alphas. And yes, I realize there's a 2 tier 2 alpha difference, meaning if you take up, say, Iceman to rank 5, you're going to be using 6. And if you take 2 champions up to, say, rank 4, you're going to be using 8. So, as you can tell, if I was to bring up Dr. Voodoo, I would use 4. And then, of course, the other point that I want to make in this video is that with the addition of more fantastic, game-changing 6-stars, and I do think there are just a handful of 6-stars out there that are worth taking to rank 2 right now, and Domino's one of them. You don't need 6, you don't need 8, you need 7. You need the average of those two numbers. So a 6-star to rank 2 is not quite 2 rank 4s, but is one more than a rank 5 worth of tier 2 alphas. And that's why I am not going to ever drop my tier 2 alpha catalyst threshold below 7, so that if somehow there was like this incredible miracle tier 5 basic sale that I could snatch up to get my Domino to rank 2, I would automatically have the tier 2 alphas to not worry about it. So, in conclusion, unless it is a high damage champion, like a Stark Spidey, like a Blade, like a Hyperion, okay, like a Corvus, or someone that gives you insane utility, like a Magic, okay, I can understand why people would say OG Vision, but I still think OG Vision just really hits, like, as the community likes to say, a wet noodle. And OG Vision doesn't hit that much harder at rank 5 than rank 4. So OG Vision would not be on that list for me at all. Voodoo, and there are also certain champions that I think are fine at rank 3. Someday I probably would like to take my Voodoo to rank 4, or my Morningstar to rank 4, or my Gwenpool. But right now, even Ghost, I'm happy with at rank 3. If it's a champion like Guillotine or Ronin that I can bring in certain situations to defeat an uncollected boss, but I probably won't bring them in regularly, rank 3 is fine. You just really want to realize, before you rank anyone up at this point in the game, rank down tickets are a thing of the past. I don't think we're ever going to see them again. I hope I'm wrong, but we cannot count on them to ever come back. Maybe that means that in a perfect world, Kabam, instead of giving us rank down tickets, would give us rank up tickets. But until then, you have to be sure that the tier 2 alpha and especially tier 5 basics aren't wasted in someone that's strictly just a defender, or someone that's not going to justify that bump in resources between rank 4 and rank 5. And I still think most champions do not justify that allocation of resources. My goal is to keep this under 15 minutes. We're at in between 14 and 15, so I'm going to say thank you for watching, YouTube. I hope this helped answer a lot of your questions. If you've got specific questions about your roster, feel free to hit me up in the Line app. Otherwise, have a great day. Thanks for watching once again.